Thanksgiving is coming, so we're going to give you 10 foods that the kids can help you prepare because that is a huge meal to get on the table. Welcome to Epic Mom Life. I am your host, Kara Peterson. This show is sponsored by The Possum's Tale, a unique book adventure for your 6 to 12-year-old child. Let's jump into today's show. Thanksgiving is coming, so we're going to give you 10 foods that the kids can help you prepare because that is a huge meal to get on the table. Thanksgiving is a time for family, gratitude, and the most important, no, I'm kidding, delicious food. Getting your kids involved in the kitchen and the cooking process can really help lighten the load for adults. It also creates lasting memories that teach the children valuable cooking skills. And that's going to become really important when we get to those deviled eggs. Here are 10 kid-friendly Thanksgiving dishes that your little ones can help cook, ensuring that they're a really important part of this tradition. Plus, when everybody sits down at the table, they get so excited because they can say, oh, I helped make this or I helped make that. It's really important for them too. Number 1, stuffing muffins. You prepare the stuffing mix and then you let your kids basically have fun. You can get, I like custard cups, which are just like little glass ramekins or dishes. And you can just put various innards or stuff that would go into stuffing in them. So you put all of that stuffing mix, just the stuffing mix in muffin tins, into the individual muffin tins. Because those can be just baked and they're really nice. And then the kids add the fun and the pizzazz by individually catering to different tastes or different diets. They can add things like sausage, I cook it first, cranberries, nuts, veggies, all kinds of stuff. Number 2, green bean casserole. True fact, I have never liked green bean casserole. I'm including it here because it's a holiday classic. A lot of people love it, and let's just face it, it's super easy for kids to help cook. However, if you want to switch things up a bit, make sure you check out number 4, which is the broccoli salad. Okay, we'll get back to this bean salad, or bean casserole. Get your favorite recipe and teach the kids how to follow steps. Learning how to follow steps is really important when you are cooking. So the beauty of the green bean casserole is basically kids can do almost everything. If you're using fresh green beans, you will need to saute those beans like in advance. But everything else is basically measure, mix, and pour into a greased casserole dish. And then you can top with breadcrumbs or fried onions and then bake. 3, mashed potatoes. Oh, mashed potatoes and gravy are probably my favorite traditional holiday food. The kiddos can pick out the perfect potatoes at the grocery store. After all, they will be peeling them. And actually, if you really want to become a mashed potato connoisseur, you can have the kiddos get gold potatoes and try those one day, and red potatoes and try those one day, and sweet potatoes and mash those and try those one day, and bakers. And they can try all these different kinds because they will quickly find out that the bakers are the easiest to peel. But like I prefer the golds for mashed potatoes, but it'll just depend. So it's kind of fun to have taste tests. So your children then peel the potatoes and you can soak them. You can do this in advance because then you can just soak them in water. Otherwise they get that icky color. And they turn color. That would be like an impromptu chemistry lesson, but back to the cooking. And you can have them cut into smaller chunks. That could also be a mini lesson in kind of chemistry about how it cooks faster if it's a smaller mass. And then you can fill the pot with water, cool water, because if you drop them in hot water, it could be an accident for the child, so you're learning kitchen safety. And then the kids can add the milk and butter, and then if you have the mixer, they can do that, or you can do the old-fashioned mixer with the little forky things. Okay, for broccoli salad, I promise this one. This is my substitute for green bean casserole. It is also my granny's recipe. And you know that anything that comes from a granny is the best. As an aside, everyone who cringes at all of the starch that is on the Thanksgiving table This is a beautiful, healthy, and green dish. So first you steam your broccoli in bite-sized pieces, or you can cut them later. And then you steam them to crisp tender, and then you refrigerate them. You're gonna want your broccoli cold. Your children can wash lettuce and tomatoes. You don't have to do this, but I have learned that I like my tomatoes peeled, which is kind of funny. So I just drop them in boiling water for no more than 2 minutes. You take them out and that skin just peels right off. It's super fast, super easy. And then I get the tomatoes cold again. Have the kids assemble small bowls with lettuce lining the bottom, and then they put the cold broccoli and the cut tomatoes in. And then for some fun and amazing taste, you can sprinkle some dry roasted sunflower seeds over the top. And you drizzle it all with Italian dressing. I just do that Italian seasonings. I just make that and I drizzle it over the top. It's super fabulous. And your children have created each piece of art. And the green and the red look lovely during the holiday time. 5, roasted veggies. I know this is not your typical Thanksgiving food, but it should be. These veggies are plentiful during the late fall. Have your children wash, chop, and peel veggies like Brussels sprouts, roast sweet potatoes, butternut squash, cauliflower, and I would add regular potatoes if you're not already having mashers. The kids can put all of the chopped veggies into a bag or large bowl and toss with olive oil and seasonings. Help them prepare a baking sheet and pour the veggies out on the baking sheet and roast it in the oven. Deviled eggs. This is the quintessential appetizer. I love deviled eggs. If you have a recipe, show your children how to follow it. If you are fabulous at getting your eggs to peel easily, teach this. This is not a skill everyone has. Not everyone knows how to easily peel their eggs. Some people's eggs have great big chunks out of them. So that would be great for your children to learn and be able to pass on to generations. Have the children peel and cut the eggs, lengthways in half, and then they can pop out the yolks, and in the bowl they can measure and mix the ingredients for the center filling, whether it's just mustard and mayonnaise or if you put a little dill relish or however you do that. The kids can then put the filling back into the egg whites and kind of fill the cavity. If you do it through the little pipe frosting thingy and you make it pretty, I'm sure they would love that. I don't do pretty, but a lot of people really do. And they can sprinkle paprika over just to give it a little pizzazz. The veggie platter. I love the veggie platter because this starts at the grocery store. And I love getting in some healthy food. And it seems to me that kids are always hungry at Thanksgiving before the meal. If you have a veggie platter out, kids will actually eat from it. It's not until they get all the starchy options that they turn their noses up at the veggies. So get that veggie platter out. A veggie tray can be a beautiful and fun dish to prepare. So before you go to the grocery store, have the kiddos start thinking of colors. So we'll go to reds. We can do radishes, tomatoes, red bell peppers. Go to greens, snow peas, cucumbers, olives, whites, cauliflower, kohlrabi. If you've never had kohlrabi, it's a great one. I love kohlrabi. Yellow or orange, bell peppers, carrots. You can actually get yellow tomatoes if you have never had them. And then dips. Dips are a lot of fun. A healthy dip is hummus. A tasty and kid-approved dip is ranch. The grown-ups who loved that ranch usually wholeheartedly approve of a spinach artichoke dip as well. And if you want to make this veggie tray an absolute showstopper, you can take a bell pepper and you cut off the top, and then you carve out the inside, and you plop all your dip inside, and you put it there. It looks really pretty. And basically, your kids made the entire tray. They chose the veggies, they washed the veggies. If they're old enough, they cut the veggies, and they arranged them on the platter. They're totally in charge of it, which means they'll probably eat more of it as well. Rolls, more starch, but rolls are a staple at Thanksgiving. A lot of times people are just mopping up all the food at the end. I know, we're going to go into a food coma. If you come from a large family, however, you know that bread always fills in the gaps when dinner did not just quite stretch far enough. Bread also provides a backstop. So like if you're eating a salad or something, you know, you don't have to put your finger there. You can just use your roll. So rolls are pretty important. They're also one of the easiest dishes for kids to help prepare, and they love to help prepare. I used to love to help mix the dough with my hands, you know, because you get to get in there and you get to feel it all. You can begin teaching kids, if you do your dough from the very beginning, how to feel when it's right. So if you're a baker, you understand that there's a certain feeling to your dough when you know the consistency is just right, or when you need to add more flour or more water. This is something that children have to learn, and you can be teaching them this. It's fun for the kids to roll out the dough and cut it into shapes. If you're using a frozen loaf, it gets to semi-thaw, and then you pull it into pieces and you roll it, and then they get to watch it rise. Yeah, I cheat. I do it that way. Kids love this. It's like playing with clay, but you get to eat it. Apple crisp parfaits. Okay, I was torn. I know there's so many pumpkin recipes that kids absolutely can and love to help out with. And pumpkin pie is the classic. So why did I choose pumpkin or apple crisp parfaits? Granny. I loved my granny. She was one of the most influential people in my life. And so one, I have a very fond memory of her doing, she used to let us do tapioca pudding and jello parfait things, and they were just lots of fun. So they look cool. The apple crisps look really cool, and they're in individual glasses. So it's a lot of fun to make, and they look really, really neat. So depending on the age and skill of your child, you can have prepared, baked, and spiced apple slices, or your child can help with that process as well. If you have that really super neat pampered chef apple peeler core, you know, where you pop the apple on and then you do the little windy thing and the peel comes off and the core comes out. Oh, your kiddos love to do that. I used to make applesauce with my kids when they were young. Yeah, they were always signing up to help with that. And then you can put these parfaits in wine glasses if you don't have special glasses. And this is just, it looks like a really, really special dessert. But you layer the apple slices with granola and whipped cream for some fabulous holiday yum. And then fruit cornucopias. Okay, I love saying that word because cornucopias, that's just a fun word. And it's a sophisticated way of saying boatload of stuff. These are gorgeous and they're delicious. They can actually be the centerpiece of your holiday table. My mother-in-law is all about the beautiful centerpiece. I am not good at that. If I had known about these cornucopias, I totally would have done one of these with the kids. And then I would have had the centerpiece covered. If you're going to do the centerpiece, and it's an edible centerpiece, if you're going to do this as the centerpiece, you have to use a very large, like waffle cone. But anyway, to create these, you get waffle cones and you dip them in melted chocolate. I know it's already sounding great, right? Obviously, the bigger the waffle cone, the bigger the cornucopia. You can also have each child create one of their own using sugar cones. Allow the chocolate to cool and harden around the cone. And your kids can fill them with fresh fruits like berries, grapes, sliced kiwi. This is a colorful and creative dish that skirts on the boundaries. I know, not totally, but it skirts, it kind of plays and flirts with a healthy dish. Thanksgiving is the perfect opportunity to involve your kids in the process of cooking and being a part of that tradition so they can be so proud and say, ooh, 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 look, I helped do this. Enjoy the food that I created for you. By assigning age-appropriate tasks, you can teach them valuable skills and create lasting memories. And by allowing your children to help cook the foods you all enjoy on Thanksgiving, you instill a sense of confidence and accomplishment in them. You're always looking for ways to help boost their self-esteem. Put them to work at Thanksgiving. I know that sounds really cheeky, but it actually does help. And this week's movie quote, "It is difficult to imagine more humble origins than those of the genius now cooking at Gusteau's, who is, in this critic's opinion, nothing less than the finest chef in France, Anton Ego ratatouille. If you are hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode, and for that, I want to send you a huge thank you. Please leave me a comment or review and share with other moms you know. Get in touch in the comments or on Kara's social media network.